It's critical that product safety be understood as an essential element of development and of sustainable economic development for consumers. That's not really fully understood, and those of you who have heard me talk about economic drag and the cost of injuries to the economy of a country understand that it can be so significant as to, in some cases, zero out the per capita gross domestic output in a country. So that's how serious product safety related injuries can be. And with that as the background, we think it's a good idea to begin a library of resources for developing product safety policy frameworks. And this is the first installment of what we hope are more resources to come online as a result of the working group's efforts. Dr. Fernando Blanco is the National Director for Consumer Protection in Argentina. He is extremely active in all phases of consumer protection, but he has demonstrated a passion for product safety, which we all appreciate.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, as Rich said, I'm the National Director on Consumer Protection from Argentina. Before starting my presentation, I'd like to express how pleased I am to take part in this seminar. And I'd personally like to thank Rich and Tilven from CPSC to their hard work organizing this meeting, and to my colleagues who accompany me in this panel. My presentation will focus on 4 topics. First, I'd like to start by remarking the importance of training efficient work teams in product safety in our agencies. Secondly, by explaining how we communicate consumers about product hazards, following on how we manage voluntary recalls and suppliers' reaction to recalls diffusion, and finally, by giving you some thoughts on how we all can work together to improve consumer product safety. The first idea I'd like to share with you is the importance of training work teams on consumer product safety in our agencies and the positive impact it has in our daily work. Many of us have general faculties regarding consumer protection instead of having a specific agency dedicated to product safety. So it can be very difficult to manage our work to get positive results. It was a challenge for us organizing our work, but today we have trained staff on product safety in 3 key areas. First, legal team, trained to process recall files. Operative team, trained to monitor international online alert platforms and to manage our national alert system. And diffusion team, trained to spread alerts through social network, website, and medias. The coordinated work of our team had a direct influence on the statistics of recall files in our agency, as the growth rate of recalls processed last year in relation to those processed in 2015 is 200% growth. Our future challenge is to replicate the national model in the provinces or states. As you know, Argentina is a federal country, so there is a national authority and states or provinces authorities. And this is a big challenge for us to share this kind of work with the other states. Our agency has different mediums to communicate consumers in product safety issues, as we think it's essential to reach as many people as possible before any harm is suffered. And something very important for me and for consumers, of course. I believe that an alert that haven't been spread is not an alert at all. It's very important to communicate the alert. So in that aim, we developed a communication plan on product hazards. We concentrate all the information in our website. There, we publish product alerts periodically in our National Alert Network platform, mainly the ones that come from suppliers report to the direction through an administrative file. In cases that involve a large number of consumers, we also publish the alert in our news area. We spread it in our social network, and we send press releases. As many of you, we are members of OWASP, so we publish the alert on CR platform as well. The work on preventing risk, something fundamental when consumers' health and safety are at risk, we included product safety in the program of the online courses of the Argentine School of Consumer Education, so everyone that takes a course can learn on this subject. Voluntary recalls are the main source of the national alert system, as almost 100% of our alerts are communicated by suppliers. We found an obstacle managing them in our legislation. As we didn't count on a specific law with the requirements a recall should accomplish. The solution to this problem was regional cooperation, specifically the work on the Consumer Protection Technical Committee number 7 of Mercosur. In 2017, thanks to the CT number 7, was incorporated to Argentine legal framework the procedure on alert and withdrawal of products and services considered potentially harmful or dangerous, through which clear guidelines are established on, first, the content of the communication to the authorities, second, the content of the notice to consumers, and third, the plan of tracing and monitoring the product recall or alert. With these new guidelines, the local legislation on product safety was reinforced, as we currently are on a process to upgrade our national consumer protection law to include, among other themes, product safety. This is a great example on how international cooperation can improve consumer protection, sometimes faster than local laws. We work to create a fluid dialogue with business representatives, as we think the only way to make an alert system work is with their cooperation. However, it's necessary to work with suppliers so that they understand how the alert system works, so they don't react negatively when the authority publishes an alert. Last year, for instance, our direction shared a 2018 recalls report containing general information regarding recalls and its treatment by Argentinian law. It also contains specific data of the files processed during this year. This report caused negative reaction from suppliers, and as they thought it would harm their image. As we see it, it's quite the opposite. The fact of complying with the law, it's something that reinforces their image. I believe all of you can relate to this problem with the suppliers. As I see it, it's an interesting work point for our agencies in cooperation spaces. Well, finally, we still have problems we haven't solved. For example, the need of coordination between different authorities with competence in the subject. I think some of you share this problem as well. In brief, we worked hard in the last 4 years, but there is still so much to be done. I want to share with you some thoughts on how we can improve product safety worldwide, working together in spaces of international cooperation like this one today. I want to summarize my conclusions in 4 points. First, the need of having trained teams with the flexibility required to act if consumers' health is at risk. I'd like to give you an example on how we manage Fisher-Price rock and play sleeper recall. When we took knowledge of this case, even if there wasn't a recall yet, we contacted Mercado Libre, you know Mercado Libre platform, as the online platform was the only channel of commercialization of this product in Argentina. And we created an alert and sent releases in our website. As a consequence of these actions, a few days later, the importer sent a press release informing the withdrawal of this product in our country. Second, I think that regional legal frameworks are a positive tool to standardize requirements to suppliers, facilitating regional and international commerce. We found the experience with Mercosur work together really well, and it allowed us to upgrade our legal system and to elevate our product standards. Third, I find that it's important to count on international multi-sectorial education programs on product safety, as it's the best way to empower consumers by giving them the tools to protect their rights, to train our work teams, and to get suppliers to know our work, and to reach civil society through consumer associations. Last but not least, it's essential that we work for the convergence of the current alert system in a global platform. I'd like to highlight that during the 2018 G20 Consumer Summit held in Buenos Aires last year, it was the first time that representatives from the three most important rapid alert systems worldwide got together to discuss initiatives to support cooperation and link regional and international rapid alert systems to give all authorities the information they need as efficiently as possible. I strongly believe that if we continue our work, this goal will be achieved. 7. Thank you very much for your attention, and it's a big pleasure for me to share this morning with you.
Then I will introduce our next speaker. Thank you, Fernando. I will introduce our next speaker. Dr. Lee Hee-suk is the president of the Korea Consumer Agency, and we welcome you here. The CPSC has had many years of interaction with KCA, so we appreciate your participation here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am Hee-suk Lee, president of the Korea Consumer Agency, simply called the KCA. I'm very pleased to see you here in Geneva. I'm also greatly honored to have an opportunity to introduce about Korea's current status, effort, and best practices regarding consumer product safety and share them with the member countries. My theme of my presentation is effort of KCA towards consumer safety. In my presentation today, I would like to talk about communication to consumers about product hazards and managing voluntary recall systems among the 7 topics that moderator suggested beforehand. Next. Among other things, I will introduce about our consumer injury surveillance system, more commonly known CISS, and its achievement and what efforts our agency has made for removing injury-prone products by strengthening the business capabilities for consumer safety. CISS is comprised of 4 types of systems, including, first, the system for gathering data from consumer injury information providers. Second, the system for KCA staff in charge of consumer safety to analyze and investigate the collected data. Third, the system for providing safety information to consumers. And fourth, the system for sharing injury information with relevant consumer safety-related governmental organizations. And today, I would like to focus on the system for collecting injury information and providing safety information. Next. We are making an effort to gather quality consumer injury information as much as possible by linking this with a variety of channels. We are gathering consumer injury system through a variety of external channels, including 62 hospitals, 18 fire stations, media report, information systems operated by overseas consumer safety organizations, such as EU SafetyGate, OECD Global Recall Portal, and relevant domestic safety-related organizations. Next. In addition, we collect safety injury information through the 1372 Consumer Counseling Center, which is a nationwide integrated consumer call center in Korea. Of course, 1372 is a phone number for consumer counseling. Moreover, in order to enable consumers to report injury information directly, we operate a mobile app and a website for reporting information. As a result, last year, a total of 72,000 pieces of consumer injury information were collected. Next. We are making effort to fundamentally prevent the inflow of products recalled overseas into domestic market, in the first place by strengthening monitoring system. And in April of this year, we also established a system automatically collecting information on recalled product provided by overseas organizations through web-based collectors. Thanks to this effort, for the last 3 years, a total of 690 defective or faulty products were removed from the market. Next. Injury information collected through SIS is utilized in various ways for consumer safety. First of all, we are sharing injury information with governmental organizations such as the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Food and Drugs, drug safety. In addition, if the collected information confirms that a problematic product is circulated, we block the domestic distribution and sales of the product. We also conduct safety investigations on food, industrial products, and facilities suspected of having safety concerns and advise the business in question to correct the situation. Next. Moreover, we provided safety information to the public through open consumer portal called Happiness Stream, press release, website, and social media. Especially, consumer can check consumer safety information by using a mobile app called also Happiness Stream, with recording a product barcode or entering a product name through their smartphone. They can also register interesting product on their mobile app account and receive feature recall information in automatic notification message. I would like to introduce some examples that have actually utilized this. Next. Recently, SIS has received a lot of injury information related to portable power bank. Thus, we investigated 13 products on the market and found that 10 of them were being sold without the safety authorization from the authorities. We also confirmed that they were being sold online, and in cooperation with online shopping site, we removed about 15,000 sales pages operated by 331 sellers. Next. Second example, a coffee shop. Today's coffee shop provides you not just a cup of coffee, but also different kind of pastries and bakery goods. Recently, many cases are reported to SIS that unpacked bakery goods sold at coffee shop cause food allergies. Current Korean law does not require any allergy warning sign on unpacked bakery product that might contain allergens such as egg, milk, and peanut. Therefore, our organization has recommended 7 major coffee franchises to provide information on ingredients of bakery goods. They all have accepted our recommendations and started providing the information this year. Next. Now, moving on to the second topic, I would like to talk about the KCA's effort on improving safety management ability of the business through self-correction management. First of all, the KCA takes corrective measures collectively to eliminate the identical or similar risk factors of a product fundamentally. Since 2017, our organization has improved monitoring and inspection on products and facilitate containing similar or identical risk factors and prevent fundamental risk factors by taking corrective measures against the dangerous product all at once. Next. And this brings us a significant achievement. Last year, through this data analysis, our organization found out electric scooters without product certification were sold online and took corrective measures collectively on 5 open market operators. Also, the KCA took corrective measures against 10 water purifier suppliers to prepare and implement preventive measures for frequently occurring water leaking from water purifiers. Furthermore, our agency has taken 5 more corrective measures on manufacturers and business operators supplying problematic products, including electric mats and massage chairs. Next. Second, the KCA put effort systematically to enhance enterprises' self-safety management ability. KCA currently operates various regular consultative bodies with a total of 60 enterprises from 8 major industries. The KCA and enterprises cooperate together to create a safer consumption environment by sharing emerging consumer safety issues and discussing how to face these issues through regular consultative meetings. Especially, I would like to highlight outcomes from regular consultative body with open market operators. For the last 3 years, there have been thousands of corrective measures taken with a consultative body to monitor illegal or defective products and block their distribution. Next. Furthermore, the KCA support enhancement of product safety management of small and medium enterprises, simply called SMEs. Compared to large enterprises, SMEs have limited material and human resources, hence lack information on safety regulations and quality management skills. Therefore, it might be more difficult for SMEs to ensure the safety of products currently distributed in the market. Next. For instance, the KCA has cooperated with Daiso. Daiso is a $1 shop in Korea. It has become really popular because the store sells tons of items from daily product to furniture. However, consumers are suspicious about safety of Daiso products, which are considered as cheap products supplied by SMEs. Last year, the KCA and Daiso worked together to provide information on product injury trends and regulations to product suppliers and improve quality of product by monitoring and eliminating risk factors of a product in the store. Next, last year, we have added new clause on the Framework Act on consumers, stating the enterprises shall submit the result of their implementation on our recommendation of correction under request. Also, the KCA prepared specific guidelines on procedures of recommendation of corrections, including submission of implementation plan, review of relevance, and monitoring up to every 3 months after recommendations, so that its action not just end as a recommendation, but lead to thorough follow-up management. As a result, the implementation rate of last year reached nearly 70%, which is a big jump from 28% of 2016. The KCA has improved the effectiveness of recalls with effort on monitoring actual implementation of the enterprises. So I have briefly introduced the effort and achievement of KCA on consumer safety. Through this effort, the KCA tries to build the market environment where consumers can trust and consumer safety is ensured. Development of e-commerce has brought us large number of cross-border transactions and unexpected new consumer safety problem. I hope this sharing of consumer policies and system of Korea with member countries help enhancing international cooperation to deal with these emerging global consumer issues. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening in time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lee. I would like to now introduce Joseph Tos. Mr. Tos is a consultant in product safety. He's had a long career working in consumer product safety. And these days, he spends a lot of time working with governments to put policy frameworks in place. So he seemed to me to be a perfect candidate for being on our panel. And he will do the last presentation for our panel today. So, Mr. Tos.
Thank you. Thank you, Rich. Good morning, and thank you for inviting me. And I see that there are some people who's taking notes, so it encouraged me to make this presentation with to put more effort in the presentation. Yes, if they take notes, so I will try to make it my best. Because we are running short of time. The presentation you will see will be a little different that you will find in the website. Yes, but I'm going to start. I think, do you listen to me? Yeah? Because this presentation is a little different than you expect. As Richard said, I am traveling a lot in different countries, different jurisdictions, working in product safety and consumer affairs, working in all fields. We have been here talking about how to recall, we have been here talking about legal framework, but to prepare this presentation, I wanted to make something different. This difference is that I'm going to put in 10 minutes or 20 minutes all my knowledge in product safety. And I hope it will help you to manage product safety better than you are doing now. I hope. I always, after staying 1 week, 2 weeks, several times in a country, after that, the product safety general director is asking me 2 questions. The questions are, do we work product safety properly? And the other question is, how far are we to best practices in product safety? So if I am in a hurry, I say, yes, you are doing very good job. Maybe you can improve a little the recall process. Maybe we should make some changes. But at the end, as a professional, this means nothing. So I start talking with Mr. Kelvin, yes? And he said, look, if you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. First thing. If you cannot measure, you cannot improve. And then the question that I make him is, but sometimes it's difficult to know what we need to measure, yes, in product safety. So in this presentation, what I'm going to try is to show you my point of view and show you what I always do when I'm in the hotel, yes, what I do about what to measure and how to measure. If I succeed in this, if I succeed in this presentation, at the end of this session, short session, you will be ready to answer to yourself if you work properly, product safety, and how far you are from the best practices. For this, I make up an octagonal self-check. In this octagonal self-check, I'm going to put the 8 dimensions that you have to care when you check yourself about how you manage product safety. The first dimension is capacity to act. You have to consider in capacity to act, how is my legal framework? Is it comprehensive? Is it strong? It's not strong. Do we have inspection? Do we have these services? Is it good? Is it not? Do I have capacity to punish? Maybe I can punish. I have a very strong capacity administrative punishment, or maybe it's not so strong and I have to send the violations to the court. You have to make this kind of questions. Yes? The other dimension is get data and manage it. Do I get data or I am not doing? And from where? From hospitals. We had an examples. From consumer complaints, from media, from where I get data. One thing is, do I get data? And then from where I get data. Yes? And then you can analyze the accuracy of this data. The other dimension that you have to consider is decision making. Do I have capacity to take decisions? What is the base of my decision? Risk assessment, presumption of safety. Do I consider the number of units sold in a product? So one thing is individual risk assessment. So you make the definition of the level of risk of one product. But after that, as you know, there are the social product safety. So you consider not only the level of risk of a product, but also you consider the number of units are in the market. Do you do this job? You don't do this job? These kind of things. After that, strategy and planning. Do I develop the mission of my organization, the vision, general objective? Do I plan, for example, or calculate the conformity rates? Do I work and say the conformity rates in toys for less than 3 years have to be 95% of compliance? Do you make these calculations? Or you are working as you can without a strategy and these things? I am not criticizing, yes? Most of you are in a hurry, probably running with a short people to work in product safety. So I always say that I do not criticize, I do not judge. All countries have their situations, and you suddenly get in charge of product safety, and you have what you have. And with what you have to work. But my recommendation is take in consideration all these factors. Reacting time. Do you have a strong alert system in your own country? Maybe there are countries for 1.5 million people, like Kosovo, or other countries like the States that they are 300 people, yes? And others like Arabia, 32, or whatever. So do I have a system that let me work quickly, the reacting time? Yes, no. After that, monitoring corrective measures. Dr. Lee was telling we have the post-corrective measure control. Do you make this? Do you, when you run a recall, after running the recall the company, do you monitor how they do? Do you monitor if they are doing what they say or not? Or, yes? Collaborations. Do you have collaboration with customs, with other authorities, national authorities, for example, municipalities? In a lot of countries, municipalities have exactly the same competence that the national authority in consumer protection. But in most of countries, there is no relation between the national and the municipalities. And municipalities can make some job. They can make some job. Or custom, for sure. Do you make some cross-border cooperation? Everybody's saying yes. International cooperation is very important. Do you do something? Are you making joint actions? Yes, not. You can put some numbers. I will try to help you a little. But in all these vectors for X dimension, you can put some numbers. And after that, you will have communication. About communication, they will tell in Fernando Blanco, they was telling, yes, we are improving a lot our communication to consumers. We have a website, yes. Everybody have a website, yes. But is this website, is this mechanism system that you are putting in place efficient or not? I am not talking about do you have it or you don't have it. If you don't have it, of course, the value is 0. But if you have some of these kind of things, which is the value from 1 to 10? Yes? And then this is the octagonal self-check. So if you, when you come back to your country and you stay alone with your people, with all the humility, yes, the humility, because in front of the authority we like to show how good we are doing something, yes? But when you are alone in your desk is then when you realize exactly what is your current situation. So when you are alone in your desk, you could take this and say, okay, let's start thinking about this. Do we have a legal framework enough strong or comprehensive? Maybe I should improve it. How can I improve it? Or maybe the decision making, do we run risk assessment? The European Commission is all the time pushing and pushing for the risk assessment. Do you do it? Is your people enough skilled? Do you need training? Is your decision, the process of your decision is enough good? And then you put numbers on this. Then you will have, this is, even you don't believe this is the most important slide, because this comes from my experience. If you have less than 7 in capacity of act, if you have less than 5 in getting data, if you have less than 6, because this is the data from my experience, yes? So this is the minimum that you had reached, you should reach in order to start thinking that you are doing a good job, or the minimum job. If you order to run a recall, in some countries this is voluntary. I don't know how they manage it, yes? But if you order to run a recall, but you don't monitor if the company is running the recall, okay, this is what all of you are doing, it's fine. But companies, if they feel that the authority is behind them, monitoring what they say that they promise, then the final result of the recall will be good. Yes? So if you don't have a 7 in this part, or you don't have a 5, under my point of view, you have some weak points to improve. And this is the other slide. This is an example. So after you put all the data in the system, in your way of calculation, now you have here 3 important data. This one is the maximum optimum, yes? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, you are the king of the world. If you are under these ones, at least 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, at least, then you have to improve something. And if you are between the minimum and the maximum, okay, you are here, you know where you are. What is good to work in this way? Because if you don't measure, you cannot improve. It's clear. It seems that not, but it's clear. You have to make your best effort to measure what you do. And another thing, not what you do, the result of what you do. You can say, yes, I am running 500 or 5,000 inspections. For me, this data is nothing. What is the result of 5,000 inspections per year? What is the result? Did you improve the conformity rate of your country or not? Because if you didn't improve, something is wrong. You say, yes, I make 3 TV campaigns per year. Okay, this is very wonderful data, but what is the result of these 3 campaigns? Because if the result is that you don't improve anything of this from this octagon, maybe you have to change the way of working. Richard, I am on time, right?
Yes, you are.
So maybe I could put more data on this, but at the end, because I have some minutes, you should have from each dimension what's one graphic similar than this. Yes? So this is the global one, dimension by dimension. But to give you more information, I erased it from the presentation, but the previous presentation, for each dimension, you should have exactly similar graphic like this. Do I explain myself or yes? And that's it. I don't know if I ran too much or not, but the point is measure everything you do. I give you some guidelines. You can change it, you can improve it as you wish, but if you don't measure the result of your work, it will be difficult to improve the situation. Yes? And thank you very much. This is yours.
That's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the last train to leave, so we're going to have to bring this to a close. Thank you for attending the seminar. I thank our panelists. I think this has been a very good seminar number 1 in what we hope is a series in the future. The working group on consumer product safety will continue, I'm sure, to try to focus attention on how developing countries in particular can put in place effective frameworks, and how all countries, developed or developing, can work together to improve the state of product safety for consumers around the world. So thank you very much.
This is yours.